Mako Board Sports Limited, based in Semley, Dorset, manufactures the Mako Slingshot jetboard. As part of Gilo Industries, Mako was founded in 2017. Sister company Rotron Power, who manufactures the motors for Mako, had already been successfully using 123 Insight, so upon the foundation of Mako, the direction was clear.
Our sister company Rotron currently use 123 Insight and have used it for many years. And when it came to looking at using a similar system for Mako, it was a foregone conclusion when it came to using 123 Insight. Because of their history of using the system, we knew the benefits of it and how we could use it and adapt it for our company.
The company set about designing the structures and workflow for the business and started implementing late in 2017, with training scheduled for the second week in December. Adam Collins, operations manager, noted that although they had experience of 123 Insight's capabilities through Rotron, Mako had higher aims.
Short term was to use it like Rotron did, which is almost as like a parts catalogue.
Yeah.
So you just knew what was in stock. But we knew from the day of inception of this business that we wanted to capture all of the data. So as I talked about process, it would capture everything from when that raw material was coming in right through to the build and what the resource you needed to carry out that build, so we could capture all the data that's around clockings for the time to build the boards. We're in the phase of data collection, so that's what we're all about at the moment, trying to collect big data from all of the different environments where we work in, to bring that all together, look at what we do, look at how we do it, and look at how we can improve it. And then if we can improve it, then we can make ourselves better, we can make ourselves faster, we can make ourselves cheaper, and therefore more profit.
It helped as well splitting it into short and long term, because short was what essentially we needed to do to get the ball rolling with the system, how we wanted it to work. So data capture and stock control was the initial first thoughts, and then after that it was then we can start looking at data capture, how can we make improvements, how can we make them more efficient, and then eventually cost savings will come into that in the future as well.
Staff attended the 6 days of no obligation training on the understanding that if they decided not to move ahead with the system, they could walk away with nothing to pay. Although Adam didn't attend the training himself, he still felt the benefits of 123 Insight's training methodology.
Another really good thing for me was Rich went through the training with you guys and he came back almost a super user, so has now passed that training on to other people within the business, and now we're all at a level, even me as computer illiterate as an ops manager, I can find my way around 123, really easy to use, and everyone is now trained, from the guys down there building the boards up to nearly the managing director. So again, with the support he's had, he's been able to give that back to us, and we all lean on him.
Mako planned to implement and go live in under 2 months, but Richard had other ideas.
We were quoted by Simon about 6 to 8 weeks to get it done, but we wanted it done by the end of the year, so basically we had 3 to 4 weeks in December to get it built and running. In all honesty, it was actually quite simple. It wasn't that difficult, really, mainly because our company was new. The implementation was very simple because it was all structured, it was all the timescales against it, and it was very much you followed the step-by-step guide, and it was done quicker than I thought it was going to get done.
Ben Smith, Logistics and Quality Manager, found 123 Insight's ability to create a test database extremely useful, allowing Mako to easily replicate its entire setup into a test environment.
I basically stretch the system. I always ask Richard, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do it this way? Sometimes we have a bit of debate and sort of play on the test system, which is a really good thing to have. So you can go on the test system, you can pretty much destroy it before you waste sort of valuable time on the phone.
The company went live on 22nd December 2017, just 2 weeks after commencing training.
Going live was we did it by accident. So effectively we were ready to go and I was confident, but I also had a lot of nerves around going live because you do all this hard work, you put a lot of pressure on getting work, you know it's going to work, and there's a lot of testing involved, so I did a lot of testing, copied the system, made a test database, made sure it all worked fine, but it was that initial, when do I tell people I can switch on and get ready to go, and that was a very nervous stage, till one day we pretty much just went with it and rolled with it, and after about a week or so I was like, oh, we're live and it's working, so that's what really happened as opposed to going, right, today is a live day, proper as a cork and celebrate. It just happened, really.
I didn't even notice, I'll be honest. I didn't even know. It was only that a couple of days later it's like, no, it's all live. Oh great, cool. But again, I think that's a really good thing that it just went with us as a business. We were just rolling along and getting ready for the, to go to war, and then all of a sudden we were ready. So it was really cool that we weren't, oh my god, we're going to go live, and then massive problems. It happened and it was okay.
It's quite an emotional rollercoaster because you all this build up, all this hype, all this pressure, and you work and you got all the support, and it's fantastic. And then when it happens, you're very much like, oh, I've done it. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Actually, it's working really well. It's brilliant.
As both Rotron and Mako are based on the same location, they also share the same server, with one benefit being that they can share licenses between companies, in addition to being able to increase or decrease licenses on a monthly basis as required. 123insight's ability to track items returning for service or repair has also proven useful.
We knew that customers would send product back for service and repair, but we needed a tool to do that. Hence we leaned on 123 to facilitate that through the business. So to keep our production line going, but also bring boards in and take them through the service and repair loop, it had to be almost 2 production lines that support each other.
Mako are also able to associate test data with boards during the manufacturing process. 123insight allows for a series of test questions and results to be created, prompting the user to enter the data and confirming whether they pass or fail immediately. When
the board goes into test, we run a test for around 15-20 minutes, and there's lots of data we capture from that, from the temperature of the water through the thrust values as the board's running, the RPM values, and that all gets entered into 123. So then we can hold on to that for the life of that board. So when it comes back through the service and repair process, we can then reference that and see if it's losing power. If it's underachieving, then we know that we have got an issue with it. So it's a really good way of capturing the data for life.
The company implemented shop floor data collection across the shop floor, installing barcode scanners in production, stores and dispatch, and allowing staff to clock on and off of works orders. Richard was surprised at the quality of data that it delivered.
There's a difference between predicting the data, the time it takes to complete a resource, to actually recording pen and paper with a stopwatch and actually scanning to a works order and actually capturing that way. And the difference between that is massive, but it's just a lot more accurate to capture it in that way. So it also means that you can get the product built quicker and obviously then out to the customer quicker. So we can then report back to the sales team, actually the lead time is now this, and it's a more accurate representation of what it will be, as opposed to before it was more of a guesstimate.
Far from causing concern with staff, Richard noted that shop floor data collection actually motivated them.
It's just getting then the upskill of the guys around how to interact with it. And then obviously the shop floor data capture side of things, when the scanners go off jobs, because using the interface is so good and it's really simple to use, it's gone from a fear factor to actual, I want to clock to this job, please let me clock onto it, and once they clock and they clock off it, it's almost like a competition now about who can get it done the fastest to the best quality, which is quite cool.
Mako are aiming to implement ISO 9001, and 123insight's advanced serial tracking will be instrumental to this. The serial number of the board is entered on arrival, with other serialised components added during manufacturing. It's then very simple to track what items were included in which board, or which boards included a component from a specific batch.
It's a really easy way of making something so traceable, and one of the things from the beginning we wanted is just traceability. Not overcomplicate traceability, because you can go to the nth degree, and we didn't really need to worry about too much about the batch, the nuts and bolts and washers go into it, but actually about the core components of the hull, the engine, batteries, ECUs, things like that. Actually, if we start serialising that, we can then get to traceability even better.
Many customers visit the Mako facility, so it's important that the image of quality and control is visible throughout the business. Mako now displays KPI information through the facility on screens via a PowerPoint presentation that draws live information from 123insight's SQL databases. The company also extends 123insight's reach to its website using Solweb's web portal. This allows for complete e-commerce capabilities and for live stock information to be displayed on the website. When orders are placed, a sales order and customer data are automatically transferred to 123insight. A A few months after going live, Mako opted to implement 123mobile, an iOS Android app that allows users to manage stock and shop floor labour bookings on a tablet. Ben noted that this has been invaluable during the setup of the new stores facility.
If I didn't have the mobile app, this whole process of setting the stores would have taken twice as long, if not more. Just simply the fact of running to and from my desk, scribbling on bits of paper, making mistakes along the way, getting confused. Whereas with the mobile app, I've got everything, literally all of my space in my hand. I can quickly find a part number, someone shuts off the workshop, how many degrees got on stock, I'm literally, 43, there's no running back, I'll get back to you, that kind of stuff. So for me, as a user, perfect.
As part of their continual streamlining of production processes, Mako are moving from project manufacturing of boards and sub-items together through to batch manufacturing.
Rather than building one fuel tank for one board, you can then go and build 50 fuel tanks. One guy builds that and goes quicker and quicker and quicker, now they're an expert. And they're building those that took 10 minutes, but now you can build them in 5. And we build them in batches. The batches then get issued to the build lines, and then so that's how we save time. And that's how 123's helped us do it. So that goes for all our sub-assemblies, hand controls, jet drives, fuel tanks. Those marginal gains of saving 2 minutes because you're building in sub-assemblies and then feeding that into the production line, that's where we've gained.
Although Mako are using a large element of 123 Insight for such a fledgling company, they have ambitious plans moving forward. They're looking to take advantage of 123 Insight's skills matrix, allowing them to allocate skills against staff and processes, and also log in staff holidays.
You can then basically look at what member of staff you got on that day, what the skill set is, what's required to be built on that day. If the skill set matches it, if it doesn't, then obviously you can then plan ahead of time, thanks to a holiday note as well, if they're going to be in and they're not going to be in. I mean, moving forward, chasing ISO 9001, the CRM system will definitely help with that. And once we get, let's say, everything that went out of this system, then adding that on, switching on and moving forward, that is just, it's a no-brainer, it's so simple, and so we definitely want to explore.
Richard has been extremely pleased with the support he's received from 123 Insight's help desk and customer care team.
You're always sceptical when you hear about phone lines calling in, support, but actually it's really, really enjoyable experience because you ring, you get through within about 2 or 3 rings, and when you're on the phone, you're on the phone for a couple of minutes, which doesn't sound like a good thing, but it's actually a very good thing. Because when I let them hang the phone, I see 2 minutes, I think my problem's been resolved within 2 minutes of being on the phone. If that can't be resolved, and it's only happened once or twice, they'll take my name, they'll take my number, they'll take my email address, and then they'll actually find out, get back to me, and within the hour I've had the response about this is the steps that go and how to get to where you're going to. Sorry I couldn't help you sooner. So it's fantastic, so it's really, really good.
For me, I really liked the support Rich got from Simon. So whenever there was a problem, Rich picked up the phone and Simon was always there, a quick WebEx whenever was possible, and the support we got as a company was fantastic, and you couldn't want for better, honestly.
Richard concluded that it's not only 123 Insight's innovative business model that has delivered instant ROI, but also its flexibility, ease of use and support.
I definitely think that in terms of return on investment, it is definitely the right decision to make to have a 123 in your company, simply because the ability of the system, the support you get from it compared to the very small amount you have to pay for it per month, and because it's a monthly cost, you increase or decrease it as and when you want, actually it's a no-brainer.